Have you wondered what the best use of a box squat is, or why a box squat variation would ever be used? So a box squat allows us to really sit back in our squat and really utilize our hips and posterior chain to drive out of the squat. And also with a box squat, we'll typically take a wider stance. And so then we can also train at certain depths as well too, because we'll use the box or bench as a target to actually stop while maintaining our tension in our core and then standing up. So the ways that we'll kind of go through points of performance for a box squat is we'll start with a bench or a box. Usually we don't want to be any higher than parallel, so we want to be at parallel or below for that target. A perfect world would be about an inch below parallel. What we'll do then is we'll sit onto that bench or box. We'll then put our legs out into a Y, and so this is getting our stance. So our stance is typically going to be wider than our standard box or our standard squat. Then we'll bend our feet in, and then with this, being barefoot is going to be ideal because we want to be able to keep pressure out so we can really preference our hips as we go to stand up. So we want to make sure our knees aren't caving in on this, that we're keeping that pressure out into the floor. So that's where having bare feet will be very helpful. So then when I go to sit, I'm going to make sure I sit back and down to where then my shins are going to be vertical, if not at a negative angle towards the bench or box. And then we'll be standing up, sitting back down. I'm still keeping tension here, but I'm coming to a rest on the bench and standing up. What it'll look like then with the barbell is coming in, we'll get the bar onto our back, step back into our nice wide stance, hips are on. Now I'm going to sit back and down to the bench, stop on the bench, and then drive up through my hips, come back down, and then drive up through my hips. And that's where we'll have a little bit of that toe out to allow us to drive into the hips, and then making sure that we're not losing our tension here through our stomach and coming down to that box, stopping, and then exploding up.